Everybody's come up to me and said, what an improbable run. If you can just talk about, now that it's over and you guys sealed the deal just to win a state championship, you can talk about that, what it means.
Yeah, I don't know who the gentleman was that spoke, on behalf of us, when he handed us the trophy, but he actually said darn near everything that I said to them in my pregame talk. We had to make a run, in my opinion, the toughest run in any division. We had to go through the 9th ranked team, the 7th ranked team, the 5th ranked team, the 6th ranked team, and the 2nd ranked team in the state. And we've been preaching since district championship game, why not us? Why not us? We're built for this. We play in a tough league. We take losses against Division I and Division II schools, and we play the heck out of them when we do it. And so it prepared us. And we've told them as well that they are built for this. They believed in themselves. They went out there. Again, we got down 1-0. It's been the story. I said it again when we got down 1-0. This is where we like to play from. We scored a run right away, got right back in it, and then took the lead, and the rest was history.
South Range comes in the game, very good hitting team. What was the strategy? What did you guys do on the circle and everything? Yeah.
That's why he's here.
So Sean and I, we sat down and do a lot of research and try to go about approaching the hitters as what we see or what we've witnessed or on stats or whatever. And from there, we leave it up to our pitcher. And she's done a darn good job of locating her spots, spinning the ball when she needs to, going after hitters when she needs to, hitters that she should somewhat stay away from. She makes the right pitches, and it's all just worked out. And I thought she's gotten better the last 2 or 3 games. Early on, she was a little shaky at times, but did enough with the offense behind us to win ball games.
Susie, if you can just talk about, you're pitching in a state championship game against a really good hitting team. I mean, just what was your mindset coming into today?
To hit my spots, and then to spin the ball, and not get ahead of myself or anything, to make sure to stay in the moment, and stay calm.
And you just seem like you're just in total command. Like you never really, what's the word? Never get real flustered. You just kind of stay within yourself. At least on the outside, it looks like that. If you can just talk about that, just how important it is to kind of stay within yourself, especially in a big game like this.
Well, if you don't stay within yourself, a lot of other bad stuff happens. It's like a domino effect. It just keeps coming and going and everything. So if I did get extra mad, then a lot of things bad would happen. Bad thing after bad thing would just happen. So I guess it's important not to have that happen. So just stay calm.
And if you just talk about your hit, man, what was your, they switched pitchers, and just so what was your mindset kind of going in up there?
So this has actually happened before. I kind of just told myself I could do it, and the team needed it, so it was all gonna be okay. I was focused on my timing because that's been my biggest problem recently. And then after I got the hit, looking back at all the team, and I saw everyone score, and it was really exciting. And I think it was just, I don't know, it was like a full circle moment, I guess.
And you took a pitch and it was a strike on the inside. So did that kind of get you a little bit more at ease, if that makes sense? Because obviously you ripped the next one.
I would say I just knew that now, I had to be ready. Because I know that once she got ahead, she was gonna try to throw something. And I don't know whether she missed her spot or what happened, but that was the pitch I wanted, so I used it.
I want to say something really important about this young lady right here. That was her first at bat since the district championship game.
Wow.
Okay?
Way to go.
So she's been working her tail off in BP. We talked, and we had a hunch that we were going to take her out of the flex and move her into the batting order. And that's a lot to ask out of a sophomore. First at bat since district championship game. And let's be honest, that at bat in the district championship game, it was 9-4. It was, it wasn't near the pressure that this one was. But she's taken everything in stride. She's a hell of a catcher behind the plate. They've been together for a long time. They're besties. And just her approach at the plate for that, I could tell She had a smile on her face. If she was hiding it, she did a really darn good job. But I'm just really proud of that. I'm proud of Macy, our DP, who's been in that spot, who was cheering as loud as she could on that fence when Emily got that at bat.
And
And
coach,
also, I'd like to, she's a very good hitter, okay? She went through a little bad spell there, and as he just spoke, Macy came in, and Macy kind of got hot. So it was bad timing for her, but we had to ride what was hot.
sure.
And she took it like a champ. A lot of kids would have just crumbled. She did what we asked of her, and then she got her chance, and look what it did today.
And coach, were you not getting frustrated or worried, or any of you can answer? Man, you guys left seven runners on base. You had bases loaded. Were you kind of getting a little concerned, like, okay, at some point here we've got to take advantage of this? You know what I mean? So either any of you can answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can probably tell you what I say all the time. You know, I make a comment about Taco Bell sometimes because I keep saying we're going to bust it open like a night after Taco Bell. Because one, I like to keep the mood light. Two, they don't walk up in that batter's box hoping to get out.
Yeah.
So you just we just keep saying like, just keep working. Something's gonna break. And you know, eventually it did. You know, she walked 10 girls in this game, and eventually we made it hurt.
And she walked the bases loaded there when Emily got the hit. Peyton, if you can just talk about, we talked about, you know, the culture changing in this program in the last couple of years. Just how neat is to see it come full circle, and now you guys are state champions.
I think seeing it come full circle with Emily's hit, talking about Mudita and how excited Macy Buskirk was when Emily got that hit, and how we were all so excited. And I couldn't ask for a better team to go through this whole entire journey with, all the ups and downs and everything. Just making school history has been one of the best things ever.
And for you guys to, at the beginning of the year, I mean, everybody wants to end it here, but just the journey, if any of you can just talk about what it's been like from the off-season workouts now to end it with a state championship. I'm sure all that's worth it, all the hard work.
I'll start with this. You know, Sean and I, we would come in, winter workouts, and we would sit in the field house, and after the kids left, and him and I, we look at each other, and if these kids buy into what we're gonna do, we have a shot to do something special. And that's the God honest truth. And, you know, there were several kids that was in that dugout that started last year that came in and didn't start this year. They bought in to what had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody had a job. And they bought into doing your job. Okay? We carry around this brick we wrote on, it says do your job. And every single kid bought into it and they did their job. That's why we're sitting here today.
Is that kind of how you guys see it? I mean, you're the players, you're the one that has to go through it. Is that just, as the year went along, did you guys just get more and more confident in each other? And, you know, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think the amount of work that we put in at practice just shows how badly we wanted it. Like, our practices are very fun and very light, but we know when it's time to get serious. And every practice before we came here, every practice before a tournament game, we did the same exact thing. It got very repetitive because of how superstitious we are, but we knew it's what we needed to do to get the job done, and we got it done. So.
And my last thing, I guess, just, man, if you can just talk about how much it means to bring a state championship back to Baltimore. I mean, the community's obviously behind you, and just how special is that for any of you guys? Can you answer?
It's very special. Because, like, I remember, me personally, I've been in the gym before and I've seen the state runner-up for 2011, and I've wanted, like, to have our banner that says, like, something. I just wanted to leave our mark in some way, and then now that we've left our mark, it's insane. It's so surreal.
Yeah.
Emmeline's grandpa played on the 1962 state championship team, or 61.
I don't know.
It was in the early 60s when Liberty Union, so there was a 3-year period, I think 60, 61, and 62, where Liberty Union won 2 out of the 3 state championship games, and I think they finished runner-up the other year.
Yeah.
And her grandpa was on one of those teams.
That's cool.
And then one of our seniors, her grandpa was on that team. So there's a little bit of tradition in the families that run around here. Our AD was on the 93 state championship basketball team for Liberty Union. So, we've kind of been around. It seems like it's a bit generational. So we like, I was in high school when we won the 93 state championship team. So I got to walk around, and I was a little younger, but I got to be around that. And it was a great feeling, and it's a feeling that you just want to bring back to the community you grew up in.
And my last thing, I promise. Sean, we've talked about it, man. Just when you guys came in, you changed the culture. You didn't, when they were between the lines, they worked, but when they were off, you had fun. You didn't make them like run if they made a mistake. We talked about that. Just talk about that culture and how that obviously has worked for this team.
Yeah, again, the biggest thing that we believe in is the art of communication. I talk a lot about them. When they're 14 years old, they're freshmen. I don't care if you're 14 to 18 years old. We talk about communication, and that we aren't going to treat you the way teachers may treat you. Neither of us are teachers. We have jobs in the, I was going to say private sector, but he's a union guy. But we both, here's what we say. When we're late to work, we don't have to run, right? I mean, you guys have been late to work once or twice. You didn't have to run, did you? No, exactly, right? So this is what we talk about, right? If you have the art of communication, if you're going to be late, you call your boss and you say, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. You know what your boss says? All right, okay. Now, what happens is when you start to make a habit of those 5 minutes being late, then we're going to sit down and we're going to have a conversation. So there's a lot of that about communication, and we put it in the hands of the 14-year-old to 18-year-old kids to communicate with us. If they communicate with us, they start to trust us. And you know how important trust is in 14 to 18-year-old kids. If they trust you, they'll do anything for you. I talk a lot about the why as well. Boys are built different. Boys will run through a brick wall. If I told a 14-year-old boy right now to run into that wall, he'd look at me and he'd run through that wall. They won't. They ask why. So the two of us do an insane amount of trying to explain why we want you to do something. Ask questions. A lot of people say there are no dumb questions. There are no dumb questions when it comes to this, right? We try to get them to ask questions. We talk about the whys. That way they understand what we're trying to do.